Hey there, guys, and welcome to Behind the Crypto Podcast. I'm Mike Graham, and I'm your guide and host as we have some fascinating conversations with builders, founders in the Web3 space, making fantastic projects. And today, we've got Tom, CFO of NNN, talking to us about what they're building and the changes they're making in the crypto space. Really looking forward to the conversation. Tom, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Great to have you with us. I know we're working together. We've met in Dubai and, we've been working on the NNN project and we've seen it from the very beginning, the birth phase. But listen, tell it for the people that don't know you, for the audience, who is Tom? Tell us a little bit about yourself and yeah, introduce yourself to the audience.
Right, thank you. Okay, my name is Thomas. I am a co-founder and CFO of NNN Community. Well, my background is basically in finance and real estate. I set up my first company 15 years ago, and then we smoothly transitioned into Web3 because we obviously saw the potential. And now we're working on NNN Community. That's a huge ecosystem that is all about security and community. So we have a lot of interesting things happening that we're working on, that we have built. I'm happy to tell you all about this. And yeah, let's delve into this.
Really, really interesting to hear. You've actually started your first business 15 years ago in real estate and finance. You've now transitioned into Web3. How did you get into the Web3 journey, Tom? I always find this interesting how people got into the rabbit hole. How did it happen for you?
Well, that's a good question. And well, during university studies, I co-founded the our financial company with my classmates because we were, young guys at the university. We started trading forex. We wanted to have the adrenaline rush from trading, so we started trading. Then we started speaking to bigger asset managers. We introduced some algorithmic trading in our region, and so we were in finance. And then we sort of diversified the capital into real estate because we wanted to try this. We tried all kinds of businesses, and then we saw obviously the crypto space booming. It was around 2017 when we made our first trades, but it was a pure speculation. Everything was going up. Like, so many people lost money, right? And well, there's not a single person who hasn't lost a bit of money, but that was a good lesson. And then we met Lucas, our CEO and co-founder of NNN Community, and we sat down literally at a table and we spoke about the vision, about the crypto space. And basically we decided to build something all about security and something enduring, something that is here to stay. And that's how we sort of shifted from finance. First of all, it was speculation and trading and the adrenaline we wanted to have from trading. Then we decided to build something long lasting and something that really solves some real problems and pain points in the current crypto space. So that's why.
I love that, Tom, because it's funny with your trading experience, right? You obviously got the thrill, you obviously were trading, you obviously made money, right? And and I think everybody comes to crypto initially for that, right? We all come to crypto
Yeah.
initially to make money, to the opportunities, etc. But we all stay because we get kind of infatuated to build something. We get fascinated by the way the industry works. Listen, on that note, tell us, you kind of mentioned already what you guys are building at NNN, but give us a bit more insight. What are you guys up to? What is the project about? What changes are you guys trying to make in the crypto space?
Okay, so our view is still that the space is a little bit broken. You can look it up. Crypto, I mean, it's booming. It's crazy. There are thousands of companies building something, and sometimes you don't. It's a big jungle.
Mhm.
So we set about creating a ecosystem, a unified ecosystem that connects various features. And the main feature or the flagship project is called Guardian, and that's our DEX aggregator we created from scratch. And this DEX aggregator aggregates decentralized exchanges, and integrates also AI to protect the users, because we all been scammed. I think most of the users or traders been scammed. So we have AI that basically detects scams on the blockchain. So we have several types that we would flag, like honeypots or hidden mints and all kinds of features. And that's how we basically provide all the information for traders. We never say this project is a scam, this is not, because it's not all the time obvious. You know, sometimes you have some functions that you can misuse, or some functions you can use for the greater good for the project. But I mean, if you see a honeypot, I mean, 99%, you know, is going to be utilized and you will lose your funds. So we have AI that protects the users basically. And also we created several sub projects around Guardian. But Guardian is the flagship. It's definitely the flagship, because our idea is to create a safe environment, because you have newcomers into the market. The ultimate goal of NNN Community is to drive the global adoption. It's going, but it's, you know, it's around 7% right now, 2025. Why not 100? Just like, you know, I don't want to say the internet, but you know, we're going there. So you have newcomers. They are many times confused. They don't know which platform to believe in, what's even influencers or social media or whatever. It's a big jungle. So Guardian provides all the tools to make an informed decision.
Beautiful.
For users, to make sure they don't lose funds, because there are billions of dollars every year still being lost or stolen, basically, there, because it's stolen funds. But also, this is the flagship. We also created our own blockchain data API. That's basically it's a company that scrapes the data from the blockchain and feeds the data into Guardian. So the big advantage is that we don't need to rely on third parties, and also other projects can use the data we provide. And also, I mentioned AI. So recently we have developed, we call it internally intelligence, because the word intelligence contains N, and we from N we create triple N, so it's intelligence. It's basically AI agents, moderators. So we work with various projects, and they can deploy their these AI agents, which are, they're not based on like the usual stuff, you know, from like ChatGPT, you know, but their own like in-house developed agents. And we feed them the data about the project, about the market data, and they deploy these AI agents or moderators in their Telegram groups, and they can speak to the community. But they're not only answering the questions, but they are proactive. So basically they induce conversations with community members and keep the engagement going. They have all the data. They can answer 24/7 in any language. So we're finalizing this, and we're running a beta in our group, basically, for NNN, but we're going to provide this to projects, because there are projects joining Guardian. And any project that connects with Guardian, it's been around 70 or 68 projects so far. So they can inform their communities on Guardian. It's also an information platform. So they release their news, updates, event calendars. So they inform their communities. They don't need to do something on Telegram, something on X, something on their website. They can do it on Guardian, because they will find all the essential information on Guardian. So Guardian is basically a trading platform with all the statistics, analytics. We also have AI as a protection, and also have a community around this that is voting on the projects and engaging with the various projects. So
I love that. I love
That's
that, Tom. It's beautiful, right? Because the community, like we always talk about, right? The community is such a big part of crypto projects, right? And I think what you guys are doing, which is beautiful, is that you're right. There's so much information out there, right? You've got KOLs shilling projects. You've got Twitter talking about this. You've got Donald Trump tweeting about that.
yeah.
So when you're training or when you're looking for projects, especially if you're new to the space, who do you trust? What's the information? Which information is accurate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You in your explanation of NNN, you kind of even started talking a little bit about what you guys are looking to achieve. You talked a little bit about kind of that mass adoption. There's this beautiful chart about the adoption of the internet and then the
Yeah.
adoption of crypto, right? We've all
Yeah.
seen it, right? But
Yeah.
listen, expand on that a little bit more. What are you guys trying to achieve with the project? Like, what is the long-term goal? Like, what are you guys trying to achieve in the space? What is the vision for the project? And perhaps for yourself within the crypto space?
I just want to mention that you speak about community, and also accidentally we have this word community in our name because it's all about community. It's the backbone of any crypto project, because if there is no community, there is not much happening, because nobody's gonna follow you. And also we have a karma system that rewards engagement and community members. So that's a big thing, and it's all interconnected. But yeah, I mean, as I told you, the ultimate goal is to drive the global adoption, show users that it's not only about hype and short-term profits. I mean, I totally get that, because we got into the space, like I mentioned, 8 years ago, because of speculation. You want to make 1,000% overnight, 1,000,000%. There have been folks that made all this money.
Yeah.
Not crazy amounts of
Yeah.
users, but yes, I mean, the statistics from these meme coins last month, I just saw it like a few hours ago, 99.5% of users lost money.
That's it.
At least they got the adrenaline rush, and 0. maybe 5% made over $1,000, so they can go for a nice steak at a restaurant, whatever. But yeah, that's not our goal. I totally get this. I don't discourage this. People should go there, try it, and see. But we are the opposite spectrum. So we want to build something enduring, to provide a safe and secure environment with all the tools available to us. So AI is a big thing, is a big helper. We integrate AI into any layer possible to make our work faster, easier, and the ultimate goal is to provide the security for the users, because we're in for a long game and we want to stay here for a long time. And we just want to make sure that users and traders and developers and builders and projects and communities can rely on us.
Yeah,
So
it's very true, right? It's very true, that, Tom, right? A lot of projects, they don't make it, I don't know what the average age is in crypto, but they don't make it past, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, a year in crypto for a project. It's like, oh my gosh, right? So yeah, it's great to see that narrative. I mean, listen, on that note, you've obviously been in the space a while, right? You've built several businesses, so you have that experience, from your business background as well. What is something that you're seeing in the Web3 space at the moment that you're quite bullish about, that you're excited about, right? We're seeing, like, for example, with NNN, we're seeing you guys implement the AI narrative beautifully, right? But we're seeing a lot of different narratives, and Web3 crypto is a constantly evolving jungle, right? The word you used. What is a narrative that you're seeing that you're like, you know what? I'm quite excited about this in the crypto space.
That's a good thing. Good question. So decentralization is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Because we all been dependent on central authorities, and
Yeah.
in the financial system, it's the banks.
Yeah.
I'm not the type of guy that will say, "Oh, I hope that all the banks are, will go bankrupt and the central bankers will cease to exist." No, they are needed. They are the backbone of the economy. They control the inflation. They have all the tools. I think it's very much needed. But let's look at us, just folks that go to work, go on vacation, have their families. Sometimes you want to, let's just an example, you want to send money overseas. the bank stops it. They stop working on weekends. They ask for documentation. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about millions of dollars. I'm talking about $2,000, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these days, $2,000, you pay for your hotel, whatever,
That's
or
it.
car
That's it.
rental. They stop it, and
Yeah.
they mess up your vacation or something like this. With
Yeah.
crypto, it's 5 seconds, one click. That's it. I know
That's it.
KYC and some bad stuff happening with money laundering, stuff like that. I totally get that. There has to be some kind of regulation, and hopefully there will be. I mean, the governments are implementing this because they
Yeah.
have understood finally that crypto is here to stay, and
Yeah.
it's really solving some problems. Anything that solves the problems is awesome, and I'm bullish on mostly like real world assets, all the tokenization, because crypto and AI together, for me, break the so-called impossible triangle. So they make things faster, cheaper, and better. And
Wow.
in the
Yes.
economy or at schools, they teach you that only two of these things happen at the same time, not three. It's not possible. But with these
Yeah.
things, it's possible. All of a sudden, we see. I mean, it's possible because if you realize everything is faster, everything is cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And it is just better.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Faster, cheaper, and better, powered through the process of blockchain, of crypto, right? And it's very true, actually. That's a very good point that you've made there. It is possible to have it faster, cheaper, and
Yeah.
better. If I think the big thing, Tom, one thing you mentioned is like finding that use case for crypto where it can be used in the real world, right? Used in the real world where people see the benefit, it enhances their everyday life. Like, for example, you're right, trying to move money around, let's say you're on holiday, a small amount of money, and it doesn't go through, ruins your holiday, right? But if you could do
Yeah.
that through crypto, holiday saved kind of, and many, many other scenarios, right? But listen, I really love the conversation, Tom. You've shared some real alpha. It's interesting learning about your background as well. But before we wrap up, we obviously get a lot of founders, we get builders that listen to the podcast. You've had a lot of experience in terms of building different businesses and in terms of being in the crypto space. I always ask the guests at the end to either share maybe their favorite quote or maybe a piece of advice that they'd like to share with other builders, other founders, right? So it's up to you. You can share maybe your favorite quote, or you could share maybe a piece of advice that you'd like to, just share with the community. So it's up to you, whichever one you prefer.
It's kind of hard to say. I don't have a favorite quote, and most of the things I have to say are harsh truths, because obviously every business that we built was from scratch. And if you're building something from scratch, just like other, thousands of projects, nobody's going to help you. You always have to rely on yourself. Like, don't like don't be naive. I think naivety will kill a lot of projects. Even for us, it's hard in any single business. It was hard because nobody cares about you. There is 8 billion people, and everybody wants to be the healthiest, the richest, the prettiest, and nobody's gonna help for free. So if you have something, you should believe in this,
Yeah.
as long as it really serves the purpose, solves some problems. Because if it doesn't make sense, nobody's going to pay for it. So build something that makes sense, that solves some problems, and people are willing to pay for it. And just
Build something
believe,
that
and
makes sense, that solves
yes,
a problem, and that people are willing to pay for it, right?
and
It
it's
sounds like
cheaper, faster, and better, right?
cheaper, faster, and better. It sounds like going back to economics 101.
Yeah, well, still, I'm a finance guy. I'm not an IT guy. We have an excellent team that I don't understand mostly, because when they speak numbers and all these IT stuff, that's their stuff. They're excellent. I take care of finance and the company, so it's a good combination. But yes, I mean, generally speaking, you have to believe in what you're building, but just make sure it makes sense and it
Yeah.
solves some real world problems.
I really like that piece of advice, Tom. Believe in what you're doing, but make sure that it's solving a real life problem. I think in
And
crypto,
people
we
are
have number
willing
one,
to pay for it, right?
and you have people that are willing to pay for it. You have number one in crypto, but we don't necessarily have number two and number three very much, right?
Yes, yes,
So,
yes, yes.
Tom, you've been great. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank you.
all the knowledge. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. This has been Tom, CFO, co-founder of NNN. I'm Mike Graham, and I look forward to seeing you on the next show. Cheers. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. See you on the moon.